Taking a look at today's equity index futures markets, let's look at the NASDAQ futures as they're realizing a move higher today after 3 consecutive days of selling pressure, pushing the NASDAQ futures down towards those March lows. Some renewed buying today, up about 1.5% on the session, as we did see some renewed strength coming back in the equity markets after initial selling pressure this morning. And I think when you look at some of the reasons why we did realize this price action today. Initially, we did see all the futures markets lower. When we look at the equity index futures markets, as we're selling pressure late last week, selling pressure in the overseas markets coming into this morning's U.S. open for the U.S. markets, really put some pressure and went down, as I mentioned, and tested some of the lower levels here over the last month when you look at most of the major equity index futures markets. But then really the NASDAQ was showing signs of relative strength throughout the morning, and as we moved through the afternoon, renewed buying pressure pushed all the major averages up on the day. So as we kind of made it to the close, recovery across the various equity index futures markets, with the NASDAQ being one of the strongest performers, up about 1.5%. And I think when you look at some of the trends in place now, today we did see interest rates coming under some pressure here, some buying in the interest rate markets, the treasury markets, for a second day, pushing yields a little bit lower here once again today. And I think that was contributing to some of the sentiment in the market, as at least for the short term, we're seeing those rates coming off of those multi-year highs. And I think that directly benefited the expectations or the perception of the growth area, particularly in the NASDAQ stocks, appeared to benefit from those trends earlier in the session than some of the other areas within the market. So that trend was something that was realized today. And really, when you look across all the equity index futures markets today, as I mentioned, we did see positive price action as we moved through the afternoon session, and the NASDAQ futures up about 1.5%, were one of the leaders in today's equity index futures markets.